Hello everybody, it's vanburman here and welcome to another video today. I am working on some other stuff currently, but just thought that I'd make a quick video just to sort of express how I'm really feeling at the moment. So it is to do with the terror attack in Manchester. I previously, around the time of Lee Rigby's murder, I did a video. I can't remember what it was about. I think it was just a gaming video, and I was just doing some playthrough or something, or showing something off. And anyway, I ended up talking about that, and I got quite emotional. And a couple of people that I spoke to that had watched it, a couple of people that I'm friends with who'd watched it, and said, you know, you probably might want to take that down. It was, you know, you're a bit too upset, really, not in the right mind frame for what you were doing. So I'm quite mindful this time of how I come across, but this video is purely for this particular reason. So, you know, there's no ambiguity there. I'm not doing some gameplay or anything like that. I'm just coming to you, talking to you now about it, and really just expressing how I feel. So, in that part of Manchester especially, you spend a lot of time there, not as much as people who commute into Manchester every day for work or what have you. But every time I used to go to Manchester, I used to go into Victoria Station. It's on the line. Well, there's a Huddersfield goes to Piccadilly and to Victoria, but Victoria's always easier because, you know, that's the part of Manchester that I was spending most of my time in. So in that sort of respect for me personally, because you know the area and the infrastructure and everything else around it, it has more of an impactful feeling on you. You know, whenever I see the stuff, or when you see the 7/7 bombings in London, I've got no experience of being around that part of London. So, while I appreciate it is bad, and you know, condemning it and what have you, I don't have any practical experience of the area and sort of what the effects that will have on people. Whereas with the Manchester thing, I did, and that drove home it to me a bit. And I've followed a lot of the coverage regarding it, and the bit that I was most disappointed in has been the reaction from the politicians in the last couple of days. So I'm thinking about primarily the person that most offended me was Andy Burnham, who is the new mayor of Manchester, and his sort of rhetoric that it was a time to, you know, just carry on, and you know, let's pretend it didn't happen, you know, let's just band together and everything will be okay. And I feel like it's burying one's head in the sand. I don't feel as though there's going to be any progression from doing that. Yes, okay, we held a vigil in Manchester for them, but that feels to me like it's just not enough. Like, there needs to be action. We need to actually be condemning and calling out these actions, not just, oh well, we'll carry on as we always have done and everything will be okay. And I just felt it was really toothless, gutless by Andy Burnham. And we also got, I apologise for the sound outside, by the way, it's obviously quite warm, so I've got the windows open. You know, Theresa May's was just as bad. Similar sort of rhetoric we hear every time, and well, okay, we've not had that many, I suppose, terror incidents or terror attacks then, but more than one is too many. No person during peacetime, we would say it's peacetime, although the terror alert is now critical. A British person, especially armed forces, and that's for me was what really upset me about Lee Rigby, but now children as well being targeted and quite frankly slaughtered on our streets is not acceptable in any stage, any form of society. Not the ones that as British people we hold, you know, in quite high regard and high value. And it does make you realise how much of a price you have to pay for what we do have. So I do feel quite sombre about that at the moment. And I don't know, I was pretty speechless yesterday, and today I've had a bit of time to think about it and looked at some more other stuff, and yeah, I don't know what the action is that needs to be taken, but quite clearly the fact that there are 3,500 names on this watch list of people that could potentially carry out these atrocities. More action needs to be done there, for certain. For certain. I know there is a fine line between protecting the people and holding up other people's civil liberties. And that's when you have to tread really carefully. A lot of people were saying, well, these guys should all be arrested or deported straight away. And that sets a bad precedent, really. You know, like having political prisoners and that sort of stuff, and deporting people because you don't particularly like what they say. Obviously there's a difference between hate speech, but what they say or what they do. There's a certain amount of flexibility in our society, and that is what we have come to develop as a great British value, and you have to tread that line carefully. Unfortunately, I do feel as though some of our values are obviously at risk, are obviously threatened, but we will have to compromise at some point. And I just feel as though there needs to be clear leadership and guidance from the people at the top of the political chain. And quite frankly, I have zero faith in any of them right now. You know, the rebuttal has not been enough. They go and carry out raids, now it's happened. People who may be implicated. Well, surely you're keeping tracks on people who may have been implicated or could do such a thing beforehand. No point taking raids after the matter, after people have died. It should be done proactively and intensely, as far as I'm concerned. You know, we spend so much time going after people for speeding fines or because they're looking on their phone while they're driving, but then it seems to be completely toothless when it comes to things like this. Anyway, that's just my opinion. I'm sure not many people will disagree with that. I've not called for anything radical, but I just do not feel as though the response was strong enough at all in the slightest. I'm not after a knee-jerk reaction either. I think it needs to be a change in mentality that we have in this country towards that sort of thing. So all I will say is, don't just give up and carry on like normal. Say something. Think about it really, and think about what changes that we need to have for this to be better. Not just keep calm and carry on. I used to quite like that little propaganda thing. I used to think it was quite amusing, but that is not what we need right now. It's not keep calm and carry on. It should be, I don't have a great tagline for you, but we need change. It should be keep calm and desire change, I guess. Because we do need to keep calm in all this, you know. That is one of the things, I must say. But carrying on is now not an option. It's only, as they suggest, it could only be a matter of time before we get something else. Another attack. And, unfortunately, it could well be in Manchester again. Up that way. Yeah. But, okay. Anyway, I'm done. I've got nothing else to say. But I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you enjoyed my little comment. I don't know. I just tried to tell you guys how I feel. And I wanted to express it in a way I'm, you know, not on Facebook or anything anymore. And I just, you know, hope this might get a couple of people just to think about stuff, or, you know, share your own opinions with me in the comments. I'm always interested to hear them. I'll reply back as well. I know a couple of you do like to do that, so yeah. Hopefully this one has been a little bit more professional than the last time. For those of you, my friends who watched the one that I did after Lee Rigby's death, I've got to say though, that was a couple of hours after Lee Rigby's death. So, murder. So that's a little bit different. I've had time to sit on this for a little bit. Anyway, I've gone on. I've rambled too long. But thanks for watching, guys. And I'll see you all on the next video. Should be out sometime next week, I reckon. But anyway, see you next time, guys. Goodbye.